You're watching South Asia Newsline and have the top stories we are tracking for you on Monday, the 22nd of December. India and New Zealand announce free trade agreement. Minorities in Bangladesh protest against Hindu man's lynching, allege extremism. And Pak Army chief claims 70% of TTP fighters are Afghans. And now for all the details. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his New Zealand counterpart Christopher Luxon on Monday announced a landmark free trade agreement between their countries aimed at significantly boosting bilateral trade, investment and economic cooperation. Confirming the development on social media platform X, Prime Minister Luxon said the agreement would reduce or eliminate tariffs on 95% of New Zealand's exports to India, with more than half of the products becoming duty-free from day one. He noted that New Zealand's exports to India are projected to rise from $1.1 billion to $1.3 billion annually over the next 2 decades. Both leaders expressed confidence that the agreement would help double bilateral trade within 5 years and facilitate investments worth $20 billion from New Zealand into India over the next 15 years. The Indian government described the pact as ending the year on a high note for Indian exporters, including textiles, pharmaceuticals, leather, engineering goods and agricultural products. The agreement also includes provisions for temporary work visas for Indian professionals and expanded working holiday visas. Talks for the FTA began on March 16, 2025, making it one of the fastest trade deals India has concluded with a developed nation.
It's also our third FTA with a Five Eyes nation, Australia, UK and now New Zealand. We are soon going to launch discussions for the terms of reference with Canada also. And we are already at an advanced stage in our discussions with the USA. This reflects the growing strategic importance of India in world geopolitics.
And as Bangladesh grapples with renewed unrest and protest over targeted violence, minority Hindus held a demonstration in Dhaka on Monday, condemning the lynching and killing of Deepu Chandra Das, a young Hindu man. They alleged a rise in religious extremism, attacks on minorities and administrative inaction. A report.
Amid renewed unrest in Bangladesh, Hindu religious organizations and minority rights groups staged a demonstration in front of the National Press Club in Dhaka on Monday to condemn the lynching and killing of Deepu Chandra Das, a young Hindu man in Mymensingh, alleging growing religious extremism, attacks on minorities and administrative inaction. The protesters alleged that Deepu Das was falsely accused of religious defamation before being lynched, saying the killing exposed deepening religious extremism and the continued persecution of minorities in Bangladesh. They also expressed anger over what they described as silence and inaction from the authorities and political leadership.
On last 18th December 2025, there was a man named Deepu Chandra Das. He was mainly a worker who lived in Mymensingh, and he was brutally killed by Tawhidi Janata in the name of mob justice, but he was innocent.
The outrage over Deepu Das's death comes against the backdrop of an uneasy calm in Dhaka after days of violent unrest last week. Tensions escalated following the killing of Osman Hadi, a young activist linked to last year's July uprising, who was shot at close range on December 12. Hadi's death sparked fresh protests and triggered unrest in the capital as demands for justice grew louder. This past weekend, a nationwide mourning was observed amid his funeral.
But I would say rather government would do a better job had it be there a preemptive, precautionary enough measures. We could definitely avoid such developments, and it was really a bad example. We set as a nation that how two of the top daily newspapers of this country and highly regarded were attacked and arson attack, and also some of the places of cultural institutions and their officials.
Meanwhile, in the latest incident, a leader of the Jatiya Shramik Shakti, the labor wing affiliated with the National Citizen Party, was shot in broad daylight in Khulna, according to BD News. The injured leader, Motaleb Shikhtar, was rushed to Khulna Medical College Hospital around midday in critical condition.
Moving on, after a court in Pakistan sentenced former Prime Minister Imran Khan and his wife Bushra Bibi to 17 years in prison, civilians calling the case politically motivated have expressed hope for justice from the higher courts. A report.
Civilians in Pakistan expressed hope for justice from the higher courts this past weekend after a trial court sentenced former Prime Minister Imran Khan and his wife Bushra Bibi to 17 years in prison each, in a corruption case involving the alleged purchase of luxury state gifts, according to court officials and Khan's lawyers.
इस वक्त जो पाकिस्तान में सियासी सूरत हाल है उसमें सियासी लोगों को इस बुनियाद पे केसेस में इन्वॉल्व करना मेरे ख्याल में ये पाकिस्तान के अंदर एक अमन बरकरार रखने वाली बात नहीं है, ख़राबी वाली बात है और इन सज़ाओं को मेरा ख्याल है कि ये सज़ाएं जो हैं वो हायर कोर्ट से ख़त्म हो जाएंगी.
The conviction adds to Khan's growing legal woes, as he has been in jail since August 2023 and is currently serving a 14-year sentence in a separate land graft case. Since his ouster from office in 2022, Khan has faced dozens of cases ranging from corruption and anti-terrorism to state secrets charges. He has denied all allegations, while his party maintains the cases are politically motivated. However, the latest ruling is separate from an earlier state gifts case linked to Khan's arrest in August 2023.
उन्हें पता है अगर हम आप इसे छोड़ते हैं दोबारा हमारी माफ़ी नहीं है, लेकिन इसको कहीं ना कहीं इसका इंतजाम करके इन्होंने बंदोबस्त करके रखना है इसका और बाहर आने की तो आप सोचे ही बिना कि ये बाहर आएंगे इमरान खान साहब.
Pakistan's Army Chief Asim Munir has warned the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan or TTP that no threat to Pakistan's security and sovereignty will be tolerated. He also claimed that about 70% of the group's fighters are Afghans. Munir described the TTP as a direct challenge to the Pakistani state and stressed that the declaration of jihad lies solely with the government, not with individuals or armed groups. Islamabad has repeatedly urged the Taliban to stop infiltration of militants using Afghan territory to carry out attacks inside Pakistan. The Afghan Taliban denied the presence of Pakistani Taliban fighters on Afghanistan soil. Munir also addressed military preparedness, saying the Pakistan Army and law enforcement agencies are fully prepared to counter both conventional and unconventional threats. The Army Chief made the remarks at a National Ulema Conference in Islamabad on 10th of December. The details of the speech were published by Pakistani media on December 21. Nepal's interim Prime Minister Sushila Karki has rejected claims about any delay in the upcoming elections for the House of Representatives. She reiterated that polls will be held as scheduled on 5th of March 2026. Addressing the nation on the completion of 100 days of a 6-month tenure, Karki this past weekend described the election as the only way to restore stability and usher in a new political era. Karki said rumors of postponing or cancelling the polls were completely baseless and misleading. Her government is as determined as a rock to conduct free, fair and fearless elections on time, she added. The interim PM assured citizens that all preparations, particularly on the security front, have been completed. Recalling the unrest, Karki said Nepal has now returned to the path of peace. She urged young voters, particularly the Gen Z, to channel their anger and aspirations through ballot. Karki assumed office on September 12 after a Gen Z-led uprising toppled the previous KP Sharma Oli-led government.
ब्रह्मपूर्ण छन्. यो सरकार तोकिएको समयमै निष्पक्ष र भयरहित वातावरणमा चुनाव सम्पन्न गर्न चट्टान झैं दृढ छ. मेरा प्यारा देशवासीहरू, निर्वाचनका लागि सरकारले आफ्नो तर्फबाट सम्पूर्ण तयारी पूरा गरेको छ. सुरक्षाको सवालमा हामीले कुनै कसर बाँकी राखेका छैनौं. एकीकृत निर्वाचन सुरक्षा योजना स्वीकृत भइसकेको छ र नेपाली सेनाको परिचालन सुनिश्चित गरिएको छ.
A fresh spell of snowfall transformed parts of northern India into a picturesque winter paradise as Sonmarg in Jammu and Kashmir and Leh in Ladakh were blanketed in white. Snow-covered streets, rooftops and pine trees created postcard-perfect scenes with children and tourists stepping out to enjoy the season's first heavy snow. Known for their pristine landscapes and serene valleys, these high-altitude destinations are witnessing a steady inflow of visitors from across the country, eager to experience the magic of winter. The snowfall has added to the region's charm, boosting tourism and winter activities. Meanwhile, popular hill towns in Himachal Pradesh are also witnessing a surge in tourists as families and holidaymakers are flocking to enjoy cold weather, snow views and festive cheer. With temperatures dropping and fresh snow enhancing natural beauty, India's hill regions are once again emerging as favorite winter getaways, offering a refreshing escape and unforgettable seasonal experiences.
बहुत अच्छा वेदर है, ना तो यहाँ पर बहुत ज़्यादा ठंडा है और ना बहुत ज़्यादा गर्मी लग रही है। बिल्कुल कूल और प्लीजेंट वेदर फील दे रहा है यहाँ पर, बहुत अच्छा फील दे रहा है। सबसे बड़ी बात है यहाँ पर बिल्कुल नीट एंड क्लीन है हर जगह पर।
मौसम तो अंकल पूछो ना, आहा मौसम बहुत कमाल का मौसम जी। सारे बच्चे आओ इत्थे छेल लहाओ, बहुत वीकेंड ते आओ, वधिया वधिया इत्थे घूम के जाओ, फोटोआं खिच्चो अंकल।
That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Good night.